guys, I'm back, and today I'm going to be doing the finale to my Pan Those Eyeshadows here on YouTube. If you're new here, welcome. My playlist with all of my updates and my intro will be linked in the description box below and in the cards. I will also have all the other projects that I had going on this past year, and please stick around because the end of the year is always a great time to discover project pans because you can binge the whole year and you don't have to wait for a new update. So without further ado, this project, if you are new here, was started by Alexi. I did not come up with it, but if I am the first person you're ever seeing do a Pan Those Eyeshadows, I will, that really shocks me because this is such a popular project. So thank you to Alexi for coming up with it, and let's hop into the finale. So first off, we have my Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette, and I rolled in the shade Ember 7 months ago. At my last update, here's what it was looking like. And I had used it 17 times at my last update. I used it one additional time for a total of 18 uses, and here's what it's looking like now. We did hit pan. I actually used it as a liner, and just that like thin brush disrupted it enough to where we finally got to see a good chunk of pan because I was clearly had a very good dip on it. And yeah, I'm very excited to have another pan in this palette because this is one of my favorites in my collection. Then next, I believe we have this shade from my Morphe Madison Beer Channel Surfing Artistry palette. This was rolled in like 4 or 5 months ago, and here's what it was looking like at my last update when I had used it 7 times. I used it an additional 3 times since then, and here's what it's looking like now. So not a ton of use, maybe a slightly bigger dip because I've been trying to use it in different ways, but definitely not enough to hit pan this time around. So it was fun while it lasted, but I'm not too stressed about hitting pans because this is one of like the newest palettes in my collection. Then we rolled, also in that same update that we rolled in this Madison Beer palette, I rolled in Rice Paper from my MAC Amber x9 palette. And here's what it was looking like at my last update when I had used it 13 times. I used it an additional 4 times since then for a total of 17 uses, and here's what it's looking like today. Another big pan in this one. I had no doubt that I was going to hit pan in this shade. I clearly have a lot of pans in this palette in general, so it's a well-loved one in my collection, and it was really nice just having this out and about and to travel with and go like throw in handbags and stuff like that. It's a really nice, compact, got basically everything you need in one little palette. The only thing it doesn't have is a mirror, but I can usually make do with that. Then we have this MAC Aladdin Jasmine's Wish palette, which has also been in the palette for quite a few months. Here's what it was looking like at my last update when I had used it 7 times, and I used it 2 additional times this past month for a total of 9 uses, and here's what it's looking like now. Kind of another same old, same old. This one's just really hard to see a lot of progress with. I think this shade is so pretty. It's kind of that like blue brown glitter situation. It's beautiful. I do really like it, but I wasn't going to try to really get in there to force a pan when I know I'm going to enjoy this palette for many, many years to come. Then lastly, we have my Boss Babe Dolly palette from Buxom, and I have the shade On Ice. Here's what it was looking like at last month at 1 use. I've used it 2 additional times, and here's what it's looking like at 3 uses. Again, nothing crazy. This was one of my least favorite shades I'd rolled in so far. I love this palette. There's just something very specific about this shade that I don't love. It looks very purple, like bluey in the pan, but then when I actually put it on, it pulls very like burgundy. There's some sort of color theory, something or other going on there. And I don't find that to be the case with any of the other shades in the palette, so it's just a little bit harder for me to use, I think. But nevertheless, I do still love this palette. So 2 additional pans, that brings me to a total of 11 pans hit this year through this project. And I hit a total of 21 eyeshadow pans this year across all of my projects. So that is really exciting. And actually it might be 22. it's 21 as of filming this video. I'm hoping to hit one more pan before the end of the year. Then that brings my total number of pans in my eyeshadow collection to 79, which is 23.3% of my whole collection. And yeah, this was another successful year of Pan Those Eyeshadows. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are new here, please stick around and catch up on all of my updates from the past year. And most of all, I hope you're having an incredible, awesome day wherever you are, and that I get to see you in a future video. Thanks, guys.